after the Pestilence, Ophelia, Parasite, Moon Queen bans. I believe those are the same exact bans as last game, but how about that? Sweet Like Ice changing it up a little bit. They pick up Tempest, however, in response.
Yeah, a lot of teams favor the keeper now for the jungler role nowadays, but maybe they just didn't want to pick keeper against Rhapsody. It can be a little awkward at times to have keeper versus some healer strategies because a lot of times you're lacking the overall damage output. It's in favor of the lockdown.
Mm-hmm. So not going to go him. Instead, the Tempest. And now Bad Monkey Gaming. How will they respond? Oh, well, do they want to give Hanskin that... I will say this, too. Again, we know these guys by now, obviously all very, very, very good players. It seems like there's been a little bit of criticism, though, lately, more so towards Hanskin as a player in terms of he's just better fit as a jungler than he is as a secondary support. Do you see validity to that, or people overanalyzing things?
I mean, I think it's definitely there, but saying he can't play secondary support is not true. But I would expect the keeper pick at the last one, just because you might as well take the jungler. It is stronger for the most part, especially when you're running Rhapsody. You have the good push potential.
Yeah.
It's just take Meraxes there. It's the best melee hero on the board. I mean, I guess Gauntlet is still on the board, but Meraxes is pretty strong too. So yeah, they go keeper here.
Okay. Yeah, the Moraxis, clearly... so staying away from the hook heroes this game, too. I find that interesting for Super KGE. Unlike on Tuesday, where they did go the hook heroes, as they usually do, against X Denial. So you think that's just maybe a reaction to that, almost? Or did they just feel like Moraxis is a stronger hero today, or what?
Maybe Meraxes is stronger, but there's always a risk to picking the hook heroes. It's either like, do you hook them in or not? Are you successful?
Yeah.
Meraxes is a pretty steady, solid, safe hero. You know you're going to get from a Meraxes. Gauntlet, on the other hand, is a little bit... It's not a for sure thing by any means.
Yeah. That's fair. That is fair. I mean, Super KG, obviously, if there is a player where it's going to be a fair statement to pick it up and, expect to have good times with them, then definitely is him. But, yeah, it's at a point, too, I'm sure they're very aware they are their favorite team and everything, so why not just go with something a little safer and make sure to take care of business. So, Baraxis being that pickup, and then you expected the Keep of the Force coming out. Engineer, the final pick from Sweet Like Ice, so still like that Engineer support. In this case here, with the Bubbles Tempest already coming out. So now the usual question of who's going to pair up with that Engineer. Well, Ravener is going to be not one of those heroes.
Yeah, picking Inji on the third pick is a little odd. A lot of times you can even get Inji in the second phase and the mid initiator you want. So it's really just telling of their strategy, and it's obviously the Bubble Suicide, Inji with the kill lane mid, and then some kind of short lane solo. But hopefully they can find a pair they want with Inji, because if they can't, it's not going to suit them well, because this hero, you kind of need to capitalize off the mid lane. You need to have a good early game. You need to get ahead.
Yeah. So the Ravener Grinix band's coming out here. So yeah, BMG maybe taking a look at that Engineer pickup, and as you're stating, just thinking, all right, so a little telling here. What do we want to ban out now to make sure that he doesn't get a strong combo to go with it? There's the Master of Arms on top of that, so definitely fitting to that mindset. And then for the last one, we'll see. Pestilence already banned, obviously.
I think I would expect a Madman ban by Sweet Lake Ice. The hero's pretty strong. Probably, I would say Madman, Grinix, and maybe Haggard, like Jonas's top three heroes at the moment.
Yeah.
Just because, especially the first two, because it's so hard to shut them down in the early game. Like, a Hag is great in a 1v1 matchup for Jonas, but it can be a little bit suffer at times in the 1v2 situation.
Mm-hmm. There's that Gauntlet ban, Ben, as you expected the Madman ban coming out. So, yeah, Gauntlet being banned by BMG, it does seem a little odd, honestly. But, again, it makes sense here. Corrupted Disciple, the final ban from Sweet Like Ice on top of it all. So, he's speaking of another, again, Jonas a fan hero there.
Well, it's also a Fuzi hero.
True.
CD makes a lot of sense for the keeper. CD is a hero that just needs lockdown to do damage, so it's a clear-cut, makes sense ban.
Mm-hmm.
Slither, on the other hand, is pretty strong here when you have running the Rhapsody keeper push, so should work out pretty well for them.
They go Slither. Slither with their pickup. So speaking of a Fuzi hero, very likely end up in his hands, and definitely that team fight is really coming together here for Bad Monkey Gaming. A curse being right-clicked there by Joseph Fan. Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be funny.
But probably
I
not.
wouldn't be that much. It'd be fun, but if you didn't have like, you'd have to make sure you have the damage, and you might not be able to kill people, but
Yeah.
you wouldn't die. Like that'd be a good thing.
Hey, just outlast them. We've seen that strategy before. The whole outlast, you curse Jeremiah, Soul Reaper. I mean, just never die strat. It can kind of work. Hag's going to be the pickup now for Sweet Like Ice, so that's a good option, considering especially taken away from Jonas Fan as well as a follow-up there. And now Pharaoh's been right-clicked for a little bit here for BMG, so
This is kind of an awkward Pharaoh game, though.
Yeah.
Versus heroes like Bubbles, Hag, Engineer. They could still pick it. It just isn't optimal by any means.
they got to go something different here, man. Jonas the Fan wants something different. We'll see if Hanskin goes for it. See, even Chipper's been right-clicked for a little bit. I mean, we've seen that before.
I think Chipper could do great here.
Yeah.
You know it's gonna be a Bubbles or Hag top because it's an Engie mid. I guess if they pick Chipper, another team could be like, okay, let's just shut him down. We'll put like Engie plus stun hero top. They could do that, but it's kind of doubtful. And I guess it is a little risky to go Chipper, but it could pay off pretty big.
We'll see. Down to 13 seconds now, so they've been using basically all their time here that they have to decide, but gonna find out for sure what the final pick is gonna be. 4 seconds. Chipper. Oh, okay, Drunken Master. A little bit different there with the.
I mean that makes a lot of sense. Drunken Hero is another one of those heroes that's hard to shut down in the long lane, and he can kind of gank. Fits Jonas. He provides that carry potential, which is always great when you're running heroes like Slither and Meraxis. You want, and it's good to have like 2 or 3 semi carries.
Yeah.
So it's a good hero in their lineup.
So the final pick over here for Sweet Like Ice. On the other hand, again, that pair hero with Engineer. In terms of who that one's going to be. So, you still got a Pebbles on the board.
Pebbles, Panda. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, that's really about it. I guess they could dual lane top, and that'd be a little awkward when you're running NG support versus Drunken. So, probably stick to the dual lane mid. I think it's got to be Pebbles. That's really the only like go-to hero on the board.
Magnus,
I guess
maybe.
I would say Rally before that, but oh. Okay then.
Totally knew that. Did not just randomly throw that out there, and it happened to be right.
See, this is where I see the flaw in their strategy. I just don't foresee this Mag Engie lane having the kill potential they need, and that's why you pick Engineer. You pick him for the kill potential. Otherwise, it's kind of like, why are we picking Engineer? Like, sure, he's still great and all with Ultimate, but you're kind of when you pick this hero, you want to get a little bit more out of him because it's hard to roam with him in the early game without a lot of setup stuns, and he's gonna be great in these early team fights for sure as well. So it's just not the best lane. I think they might suffer a bit if they get a little bit outplayed.
All right, well, it's as usual. I mean, the middle lane matchup very important here, so we'll see if they're able to perform here or not on Sweet Like Ice's side, but. Obviously, just going into the matchup alone, definitely a difficult one. As far as the jungle situation, it is going to be a Tempest versus a Keeper here. So both sides managing to get that jungling going out. Hanskin has plenty of experience on that Keeper jungle. And again, he's one of the few that actually likes to play it, apparently. So, Slither, speaking of skins, this is a weird skin here that Fuzi's running.
Yeah.
It's like the Polywog one.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. But the landing situation, though, for the most part, maybe not too questionable on either side, really.
Yeah, I think Sweet Like Ice, if they have a kind of a hard laning situation, their versus they could potentially lose every single lane.
Yeah.
Because you have a Slither in the short lane who's obviously going to win. Drunken Master has a lot of potential to win the long lane, even though it's the quote-unquote suicide lane. And then I think Lions or BMG's favored middle. The only clear advantage I see from Team Sweet Like Ice is the fact they have a Tempest jungle over the Keeper jungle. So Tempest can have a bigger impact before level 6, plus he jungles a little bit faster than Keeper. So that looks to be their only laning advantage, in my opinion.
So again, setting up to be a difficult time, but hey, you're going to have a difficult time against BMG for that matter, no matter what the case would be. So I knew that coming into it, so we'll see again if they're able to pull it off or not. But you see here, game number 2, of course, BMG taking care of business in game number 1. Hands can type. Sure what that meant to be. Okay, so
I think it's a Swedish
tick of a
word.
lag. Oh, maybe that is. All right, looks like we're good here. So, let's see how game number 2 kicks off, specifically with the where people go with the wardings perhaps and whatnot. You think either side makes sense to kind of play aggressive with the wards here and block the camps, or is just both pretty content on protecting?
It's I mean, it's Tempest versus Keeper. A lot of times you just want to play safe, not take any unnecessary risks, because you can get punished if you go to block camps and then like you don't have any counter wards to counter ward your camps, or
Yeah.
or if your wards get countered and it's not really doing anything for you. So usually in this matchup, especially, you just kind of defend your own jungle.
Yeah. And that's exactly what they're doing here on both sides. So no interaction going to be happening off the bat. Instead, just a whole lot of scouting out and making sure that everything is good to go. But yeah, with that said, both the junglers should have a pretty safe time here.
Usually the matchup where you look to block camps is like in the passive versus aggressive, or the no jungler versus the aggressive matchup, or
Yeah.
like the Tempest. Because in this one, usually Tempest and just kind of both farm it, and you just want to secure that. So that's why they vote to just go on their own sides. And now you see Bubbles making his way bottom. Mag is middle with the pooled regen, so I guess this will help him a little bit with the stats. Maybe get 2 stuns off at a time.
Yeah. That's what they're going for there. So him and Adro, kind of a classic lane here with the Magnus Engineer. So we'll see if they can get a kill opportunity or not. Preferably on Rhapsody, I'm sure, would be the ideal target. But
No way you're killing a Meraxis. He's
Yeah.
just too naturally tanky, especially with the heal that Rhapsody provides.
his Arcane Shield won't necessarily be the most effective in this matchup, but still a difficult presence. Yeah, to kill nonetheless. So keep an eye on that creep farm back and forth between those two. How that develops here. Speaking of classic matchups, Slither versus Bubbles. The bottom lane, I think it's safe to say Fuzi should have a good time here. Bubbles, not so much.
Yeah,
Don't
Bubbles is
expect
going to suffer just a little bit. Slither is pretty obnoxious here to lane against.
Yeah. Yeah, toxicity, man. You just see right. I mean, just puts in some auto attacks. The dot damage starts happening, and it gets more and more difficult, obviously, as it usually does. But as his levels go up, and you can see the boxing out here from Fuzi. Knows what he's doing, to say the least, and making life difficult, as he should be on Hop Grota there, playing the Bubbles. Speaking of the side lanes here, you got the top lane. Drunken Master versus Hag, perhaps even more of an even matchup expected. And actually, Hag, Drunken so far slightly ahead, but it's still very
Drunken
early.
has a lot of regen. I think what Jonas does a lot of times now is in the solo matchup as a melee hero, he buys a lot of regen. He gets pulled once, he goes Hatchet, and then he has a little bit of extra gold left over just because of how it works out, and then he just buys a shield right away.
Okay, that makes sense, yeah. But yeah, 9 Tree Eaters and a health potion. Really making sure to have that regen. You see the build here from Metrodax, still going the level 2 Haunt, of course, and we'll have to take advantage of that. But Jonas, a fan, able to just kind of stand his ground and absorb those auto attacks, and knowing that he could just regen. With the Tree Eaters especially. Tempest going for the top rune. Him and Rhapsody run into one another. The bottom rune happens to be double damage, and Keeper the Forest got that for free.
Yeah, Hampton's like that rune a lot. It's going to speed up his jungling by quite a bit.
Yeah. That's a level 1 Ent Moon, now the level 2 animated trees, and gonna assist continue to farm with that. So again, we'll keep an eye on those GPMs there between the two junglers and see how that excels amongst across the board. But right now, actually, the GPM chart is definitely well in favor of BMG to start things off here. In fact, this middle matchup, Merax is 14-1 compared to a 12-0 Mag, but so I guess it's not as decisive as I thought I was expecting it to be, but still.
I think it's the top lane and the bottom lane that's making the big difference.
Yeah.
So there's twice as CS of Bubbles, and Jonas has a little bit on Hag.
Yeah. Creep farm here is pretty solid on both sides. I mean, you look at the creep kills actually on the lead side. It's all pretty even, actually, between the lanes here. Wretched Hag and Drunken again going at it. Both are going to survive in the end, but Jonas a fan really getting Baltazar pretty low right here.
Jonas has a lot of regen, so he wants to make sure he uses it.
Yeah. Just play as aggressive as you can. Middle lane, there's a stun on the Meraxis. The double stun hits right here. But you just see Meraxis doesn't even care. He's going for a turn kill, in fact. And now Magnus the one in a lot of trouble. He does not have Steam Bath. It did not matter, though. He's able to get away. Engineer was chasing. What was Hadro thinking? That's what he was thinking. He had Magnus coming back in. That's a bloodless kill. Will it be a 2-for-0 exchange? Maybe a 2-for-1. Engineer's going to survive. He pops a health potion, but so does Rhapsody. But Magnus is going back in. He had the bottle charges, and as you put it, it is going to be another kill. Double tap for Macera. So it was going to be difficult, sure, but they get it.
I really, honestly, when I saw that fight starting, I did not expect Sweet Like Ice to win that. I thought that was a clear-cut victory from BMG, but BMG's gonna fall middle, maybe?
Uh-oh. Yeah, Super KG. Oh, the big kick stun. No. Look at Magnus. He's trying to block me. He can't, though. Oh!
Oh, my God. Oh, that was so close.
It looked like a cut
it's really big.
That is big. Well, then. I mean, yeah, no, I also bore with you. I thought for sure that was going to be, if anything, good for BMG with the man-up decision there, but obviously a good getaway from Magnus, and then Engineer doing enough pressure to then
It's just
turn
the
it
fact
around.
that Mag got 2 stuns off. Like, the Mag stun is one of the most powerful stuns in the game, and at any point, if he gets 2 stuns off in any engagement, he's usually going to come out on top.
Yeah. And that was most certainly the case right there. Again, he didn't even have Steam Bath at that time either. Did not matter in that exchange between the two. So that's got to be some good momentum there for Sweet Like Ice as far as how they're feeling in the game, especially after that first game. So that's good to see for their sake. But the big picture, though, you still got a Slither having a good time at the bottom lane. He is, as expected, winning that matchup quite a bit. And then you got Keeper the Forest, actually. He's starting to excel. He's level 6. He's got 322 gold per minute now. He is a step up over the Tempest currently as far as his farm goes. So Magnus, though, 410 GPM. Safe to say that 2-for-0 exchange was a very important one once again in that middle lane. And so knowing how the game is kind of playing out so far, Magnus is the one that's doing great, and your teammates maybe not as good in their lanes. Do you just get that PK ASAP, or do you still upgrade your boots, maybe get another stat item here?
You're gonna have to go to the build-up items. The thing is, Lion or BMG, they're gonna push before you can get the portal key. Like they're pushing now. They're pushing bottom.
Yeah.
You should defend this tower if you can. Bubbles is only level 4 though. That's really gotta hurt. Ideally, you'd like him to be 5 right now, but unfortunately, is he gonna fall?
Oh, nope. He got the root off, or excuse me, he got the shell support off.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's still dead. Poison
He has
spray
no
hits
boots.
Dead. It's a good chase right there. So yeah, so much as you're pointing out, you usually want to be level 5, maybe to hit 6 even in the process. Go for a turnaround, but yeah, that wasn't the case there. He dies, in fact. And there's no way they're defending this now, if there was a way before. So that's going to be an easy tower kill for them. Ring of the Sorcery, not even on Keeper the Forest just yet, but I think he has enough gold for it. He already bought it even, but...
Yeah, Bubbles is one of those heroes in the long lane. If you get the levels up, it's so easy to defend these towers, so easy to go for kills when the enemy pushes. But when you're behind, the hero is almost dead weight. Like, the Shell Surfer, okay, it's decent damage, but it's just not nearly as good as the Bubbles, the coil of the kill field.
Yeah. You look at Bubbles again. There goes a poison spray. He is going to be fine, but
I'm actually kind of surprised Fuzi went there because I could see the Bubbles using the Shell Surf in that situation, the counter push at some point.
Oh, true.
So I thought he was hiding there, waiting for him to use it, but he just wanted to secure the tower last hit, which makes plenty of sense too.
Top lane, so they get the top tower kill on the Hellborn side. Drunken Master actually pushing them back in the end. So what do you make of this whole situation, though? I mean, the choice by Sweet Like Ice, or the lack thereof, I mean, they gave up both of those towers in the end.
Yeah, I think that was a poor decision. Keeper used his root to kill the Bubbles, so at that point, you should be like, okay, guys, let's just defend. Okay, 2-for-1 exchange wasn't the worst in the world, even with the hero kill, but I still think I would have rather seen a defense with no Keeper root online.
Yeah. Sweet Like Ice choosing to still amplify what they have going elsewhere, and that's the Magnus, of course. He just got a Steam Boots right there. He has another 650 gold saved up. So, again, his farm is still looking pretty damn impressive. I also saw Meraxis was even playing more passive because of that situation, since obviously Rhapsody was assisting pushing the bottom lane. So, Super KG making sure to not get killed while that situation was happening. He is going to go for the top rune here. Engineer here, though, as well. But here comes Wretched Hag now. And actually, Meraxis might be in a little bit of trouble. He's got mana battery charges. There goes the turret out. The HoN is applied. There's the mana battery charges, though. And he's going to go choo, 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 and he's going to be fine in the end. Maybe? No, Hack's still chasing. He's got a blink, but look at that. Matrax going to be activated, and he's going to run away. Drunken Master is nearby, though, and Drunk is not afraid about going in. He's going to jump in right there. Untouchable's activated, but all of a sudden 4 heroes are here. Eruption goes off, and down goes Drunken Master. I mean, Jonas the Fan is known for playing pretty ballsy a lot of the time. That was one of those moments there.
He probably just didn't expect 4 heroes to be there. I mean, when I saw the bubbles, I was like, whoa, why is there bubbles here? I guess he TB mid too, because... But you know what? Hey, I like it. They bring in a lot of heroes to the fights in the mid lane.
Yeah, they're going to kill Rhapsody here. Bubbles coming in to guarantee it. And that's well used with the Elemental Void. So you like, guys, it's good to see it. Honestly, for the sake of the series, if anything, that, again, they're looking pretty good here. In game number 2, things are coming together pretty nicely for them, even with the decision to not defend the bottom tower pushes.
And the biggest thing in this game, mid lane, Maraxis is going in. Can he get the stun off?
Can he get it right? No, big Kelfield coming out right there. Song of the Sea as well. He's just toying with him on the edge of it, and they will get away. So resources used, including Slither coming in.
Yeah, but this is probably a free tower mid. You have no Kelfield left, no mag, eruption. You know, at this point, you're probably going to wait for the mag portal key before you take another fight. He's so close to it. If they get like 1 tower and mag farmers like 2 to 3 creep waves, he should have the portal key. But no, they want to defend it, looks like.
It is risky, man. No eruption, no Kelfield. You do not have cooldowns here.
Yeah, I don't like this fight at all.
Yeah, they're not going to end the end. I think they kind of... Oh, will they? Oh, just close enough, says Maraxis. He goes in right there. Magnus will stun away, though, and be fine when it's all said and done. Energizer used by Slither, looking to fight back. There's a tower kill. Sweet like guys, they're getting a little antsy. Saw Engineer, he thought about casting the ult, maybe even juking a little bit, but choosing not to. Will BMG keep going is the question. It looks like it.
No dust on Hellborn. This is really big, actually.
Yeah.
Hag's getting caught.
Yeah, this is even bigger. Wretched Dad, can he blink away time? No, he cannot. He just evaporates. No buyback on him. And especially with that in the other circumstances, just you can't fight this if you're Sweet like guys.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. There was literally no reason for them to lose tower. It's just Hag was in the wrong spot. He was near trees versus the Keeper of the Forest.
Yeah.
It's just maybe lack of experience against playing against BMG, but that's just a common play they would go for, and you have to expect that.
Yeah, so in the end, Sweet like guys getting a little bit of momentum, and then you can kind of say almost shooting themselves in the foot to an extent. Yes, in the end, BMG playing that very well, of course, but Sweet like guys maybe not making the best of decisions right there and not helping their cause. So another couple of towers are dead all of a sudden, and you just see that gold lead really starting to shoot up there, including 400 GPM on both Slither and especially Keeper of the Forest. Who, what else did he buy? He has something else being delivered. Oh, yeah, Little Red Booties. He doesn't even have those yet, so.
Yeah, it's something I've been seeing Hanskin going for. Opting for the skip the boots, just go really fast astrally when he plays Keeper and Tempest, and it works out. It's kind of, there's pros and cons. The big pro is, yeah, it's 1,000 HP to your team for when you take that first fight, but it's a little bit more awkward to get into the fight because you're slower, so I kind of like it, not going to lie, but there are the negatives to going for it.
Of course, but again, Hanskin, speaking of especially Keeper of the Forest jungling players, I mean, he has probably some of the most experience out there in terms of doing it, so he's safe to say he's found that comfort zone of knowing what makes sense when, and as you put it, he passes up those boots early on, but he has them now, so get that boosted movement speed there. There's the portal kill on Magnus, so obviously this is that important timing here for the Hellborn team, and in fact, they might try to use it right here, right away. This could be a big kill. No, we got caught by the poison spray. Oh, Magnus, he was running up right there, and I don't know if that was more of just a play. Where are they going to go?
It was actually better for them that he got hit by the spray, because they just didn't have the damage to kill Slither, and I think Slither probably would have killed him with Keeper being there, so.
True. It's a blessing in disguise almost. Coming out for Sweet like guys. So yeah, I agree with you, especially with the numbers that came in right there. It was going to be a possible turnaround for BMG. So, hey, he got hit by the poison spray. I'm sure if we ask him, he'll say it was intended. Ain't gonna be the initiation as a result. So, but I was gonna point out too. I mean, so despite this great farm on Magnus, his levels aren't necessarily the best. He's only level 8 still, and has that portal key.
He's doing fine. I guess you would maybe like him to be level 9, but you're right. This hero does peak at 11. Like that's when he's at his strongest for the most of the game. Hellborn's still without dust. Your versus Keeper, you really need dust at this high level.
They got a rough word on the Legion team. Yeah, he does an L2 right there. Magma stuns in, though. Keg's going to follow the turret, I'm sure. There we go. Seal Kid, he will drop. But Slither's here. Big poison burst. It hits 3 heroes. The Hellborn team's going to be a little bit in panic mode now. Magnus cannot portal key back in. As a result of that, Matrix coming in for more access. A big stop on 2. Drunken Master from behind. Wretched Knight barely blinks away time. No, the dot damage is going to be too much. She will fall when it's all said and done. The root coming out of the background. Tempest going to be locked down. Ultimate canceled on him. Magnus Eruption. He does go in with it. The line stun, but just not nearly enough damage. They weren't clipped up enough. Down goes Engineer. Bubble's going to be caught out. And Bad Monkey Gaming just rolling over Sweet Like Ice here with their team fight. And that's going to be the last outer tower destroyed on top of it all.
Yeah, I don't know. Balthazar really needs to watch his positioning. That's the second fight in a row where he just got picked off and didn't do anything. And they're missing a lot of their damage because of that. Sure, that was even a 4v5 fight, by the way. Like, that just shouldn't happen. That should have been a win for them.
Yeah. 14 minutes in, though, and what was, again, at least they were looking better, much better than the first game, that is for sure. Was Sweet Like Guys earlier on in this game, but you could just tell BMG just got that momentum rolling. A couple of questionable decisions, and before you know it, BMG has a pretty decisive lead once again. So, no doubt, Sweet Like Guys has a lot of work cut out for them yet again. You mentioned Baltazar's positioning. I mean, and obviously with those deaths has come the slacking in the farm a little bit right here. He's still trying to finish a light brand even. He has a Neophytes book here, but needs to finish the full light brand and then eventually adjust into the Grimoire, of course. But they're still ways off of that. Glowstone on Slither, by the way. Portal Key still not even picked up on Master of Farms. Going to be coming, though. Look at Drunken Master, too. 2,600 gold saved up. They find Rhapsody, by the way. Pretty aggressive here at the bottom, so I got to order sight down, but it's cost her life.
Yeah, Steelkid's kind of suffering in this game. He's not even level 6 yet, so we haven't seen his true impact he can have in this game yet.
Yeah.
Hellborn still without dust. It's really you need to have dust versus keeper. That's part of the reason why these fights aren't. They're getting caught in these fights because you're not revealing the enemy. So you have to have 2 to 3 dusts on your team when you play versus keeper. It's a staple item against a keeper. So.
It is. That is. We are in that odd spot. It's like maybe you could say it's that lack of experience coming out from Sweet Like Guys, but I mean, this is an experienced team. It's not like they're inexperienced by any means. Again, they bounce back and forth between the Gold and Diamond. They were formerly known as Ready for a Miracle to an extent, and I mean they've been around for a long time. And Keeper of the Force is by no means a new hero either. So, as much as I want to sit here and say, and again, I understand that they are the lesser team here in this matchup, and definitely a tough one for them. But here they are, the top 6 teams remaining here, bowl of HoN Tier Season 2 playoffs. You'd hope almost that just simple mistakes like that wouldn't be taking place, but just for whatever reason, Sweet Like Ice, unfortunately, not having the heads up to do so. And you see more Axis here in the meantime. He's just been chugging around as with the Invisor up. He's waiting for an opportunity here. I don't know if they're going to find it. Maybe Magnus at the top lane. He has Keeper nearby. I don't know if it'd be enough damage, though. He's going to be
there's no way. Keeper's damage isn't the most, and Meraxis is in the middle. But yeah, I don't think they're going for this kill. They're just trying to take farm from their opponents.
Yeah. Kind of toying with him. In fact, he just runs right up into him. Meraxis is going to jump in, but again, as you put it, just more so taking the farm from him and saying, hey, this is our lane. Get out of here.
Yeah, Meg also, he would have had a 15 charge power supply if they went on him, so that's another 150 health, so there's no way they're getting that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, though, Jonas is applying a lot of pressure. Someone needs to come down here and take this farm.
He's Truckin' Master, 500 gold per minute all of a sudden. Holy crap. I didn't even realize. I mean, I saw his farm was at least decent with the gold saved up and everything, but wow, 500 gold per minute Drunken Master here.
Yeah, does he just have a lot of CS?
I guess, yeah, 112. He's a top of the game.
Wow, that's actually pretty high. He did really well top, and then he won his lane top, and then due to winning these early fights, he just gets to farm everywhere. Because when you take these towers, you get to farm so much more deep, and it shows. That's why he has so much creep kills right now.
Yeah. Full demonic breastplate. Oh no, never mind. It's actually gonna be Shrunken Head. I thought it was just gonna be a demonic, but buying that full Shrunken Head, yeah, gonna be delivered out right here. 2 Drunken Master, so hitting like a freaking truck, and you ain't gonna have many ways of stopping him other than a Tempest ultimate pretty much at this point to lock him down. But if he happens to have the Shrunken Head up, obviously this is a very magic heavy team here on the Hellborn side, so Shrunken Head, a very important item to say the least to be picked up here for the Legion team on anyone for that matter, let alone Drunken. But Fuzi, by the way, the staff of the Master also is getting closer. Just needs to get that 2,000 gold mark, and then he'll have enough gold for it. If that's what he still goes for. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he just changes that Mighty Blade into a Shrunken Head, speaking of that, but Staff of the Master, pretty damn good as well. More damage, making it lethal, definitely very helpful in those
Yeah,
team
it's
fights.
a pretty strong item. He doesn't really need also the Shrunken Head. They have good team support. They're gonna have a Barrier Idol and Keeper. They have the Astrolabe already, so you should be able to keep alive with just building tanky. So there's not really a hero that needs a Shrunken Head. He just doesn't really care about getting his auto attack. Or he doesn't care if he gets focused as long as he gets his spells off and he gets a couple auto attacks in.
Yeah.
He's not a hero like Drunken Master that you just want to make sure you keep hitting those auto attacks and staying alive.
Yeah. You see Slither putting down those wards of his. By the way, those wards are pretty amusing. Putting those wards to scout things out. What is going on mid? Super KGE. What? Was he invis or something and it got caught, or I honestly didn't even
look,
notice.
there's a counter ward down.
Okay.
I would assume.
I think they just placed it though after the kill, honestly. But anyways, they're gonna jump in right here. Tempest, he gets a big ultimate up, but he didn't catch Handskin. Oh, that would have been huge if it got Handskin as well. He was really close, but wasn't able to do so. And now Drunken Mash is like, well, I'm just gonna tear everyone apart. And that's exactly what he does right there. So they pick off Moraxis to start, but clearly favorite for BMG. And now they're gonna go back and finish off Kongor. Or at least that's the plan. Knowing that they won't have to deal with an Elemental Void when Tempest comes back up, that is just big. And it's going to be a free Kongor kill. Token on Slither or Drunken, you think, here?
Sorry, who?
Token of Life on Slither or Drunken Master, would you say?
Oh, probably Slither just because he's not the one with the Shrunken Head.
Yeah.
Usually it's the Shrunken hero that doesn't take it.
Yeah.
And the one that's building tanky goes for it. Like, remember when SG used to pick like Pebbles and when someone would go like an early demonic, he'd always take it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of similar to that.
Okay. Well, they're not going to, I mean, I guess not doing Kongor too quickly. They're also being distracted by a Hellborn team quite a bit. In fact, Magnus, he's got that level 2 eruption.
Channel?
You can tell he wants
I think
to.
I should go for this. Like,
Yeah.
no Keeper Root. Like,
What do you have
this-
to lose?
This is the best situation you're gonna get for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's. I'm sure it's frustrating knowing that you don't have a Tempest Ultimate, but exactly, it's, you know, are you going to get better opportunities? You see the jump right there. Nice take cover from Bubbles initially, but it doesn't matter. He melts still. Bat Blast hitting a couple heroes in the background. Slither, though, up in the foreground. He pops that Poison Burst. Magmold is going to be coming in right there. The eruption hits multiple heroes, but Protective Melody to follow. Not even really necessary in the end. Magnus is going to get exploded on. Reichendag just blinking away with that poison dot on her. I believe the Staff of the Master was delivered before, so the Poison Burst doing a lot of damage and lethal, but not going to be enough to kill them. But again, they clean up right here. They're going to go back and finish Kongor actually this time. And then I'm sure maybe a regroup and then push from there to finish things off.
Yeah, I would expect them to regroup. Keeper needs more mana. He has Barrier Idol and base. Jonas is another 3k gold. This guy's just... You think this guy's like a Battle Fury or like a or something, but he just keeps clearing up or getting that gold.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, Stagger is a strong farming tool, but yeah, he's just making it work big time here in terms of that GPM and, as you put it, the creep kills that he has. Again, still leading by quite a bit even in the amount of creep kills that he's been gotten here. So I think I just saw the full
getting
demonic.
caught, but he should be fine. Do they even have dust? Bubbles finally does. Oh, okay. They're finally buying dust on their heroes at least, but just a little bit too late.
Yep, Keeper of the Forest just walking away and more than fine in the end. He's mentioned that Barrier Idol. Is that being delivered now even? Yes, it is. So Barrier Idol going to be on Keeper of the Forest here. So again, you look at the Hellborn makeup here. It's all magic. It's all magic at this point especially. So the Barrier Idol is going to negate so much here.
They don't really have the levels to fight through the Barrier Idol, or the Grimoire. Like, if say if Hag is 16 with the Grimoire, it's like, yeah, okay, Barrier Idol's not as good. It's still really good, but it's just right now, it's like their damage won't even do anything.
Yeah. It's going to feel pretty minimal, so unless they get, again, that big... That Tempest Ultimate, it was really close. It was like the 4 corners. He got 3 of the heroes, but the one really important hero he didn't
Ancients. They, Rhapsody and Hanskin were spraying the Ancients down to like 1 auto attack for Fuzi, so he could get some item, I think.
2,000 gold saved up. What do you think that item might be?
I don't know, honestly. Maybe they just wanted to give him the gold. They're just like, hey, we'll help you out. We have everything we need.
Yeah.
Hanskin's probably like, okay, I'm not going to be getting another item probably for the rest of the game, so might as well just give everything to Fuzi.
Bottom lane, Drunken Master, Jonas a fan. Again, he's feeling farmed, but all 5 of them are down here to try to gank him. Ain't gonna happen though. He easily staggers away, and he is gonna be fine. Again, he's the one sitting with that token of life here. So actually, that kind of goes. It's interesting what you talked about earlier. You maybe would have expected on Slither, but Drunken does pick it up in the end. Either way, it's not really a big deal, obviously.
It probably shouldn't break the game, but I think I'd still rather see it on Slither.
Yeah.
Because that way he's a range hero. He can just hit the racks down, make them go on the Slither, and then if you make them go on Slither, that's definitely a losing fight.
Oh, Bubbles. Okay, they initiate. Oh, Moraxis catches him off after the shells report. He activates the Matrix. There's the Keeper Root coming out right there. Bubbles going to be locked down. Tempest off to the side. He has an Elemental Void. He knows the Elemental or the Tempest or Keeper Root is down. He will get it off, but you just see the damage follow-up isn't even remotely happening. Magnus stunts back into the background of Moraxis, but with Tempest dead, Magnus needed to jet on out of there. Oh, somebody died in base. That was Engineer right there, pointing back, but good game toxicity. And he eventually falls as well. So once again, just BMG with their initiation, with their jump potential, making use of it. And now they're going to push into the base right here. No Elemental Void. Tempest not even up for another 30 seconds or so. They will have that Eruption, but no Bat Blast either. Yeah, they're not going to have enough damage, man. I mean...
Yeah, the heals are just too strong. You have Rhapsody, you got all the items, Hanskins, and buildings, so they're not going to be able to have the damage to bring them down.
Yeah. Obviously, they're going to try, and as they should, but the likelihood of this being effective, very minimal, especially when that happens. I mean, they will kill Moraxis. they burn him down before he's able to do anything, but now Drunken's like, I'm pissed off. He was a good friend of mine. Engineer doesn't stand a chance. Melee Rack's going to fall right there. You see Wretched Hack and Tempest. They're like, we kind of want to go in, but we know that's probably death if we do. Tempest goes in. Magnus stunned to only hit Creeps right there. Not sure about that. He's going to tap it away. Drunken wants to chase, but the stuns are too powerful. And his Drunken is on cooldown, so ain't going to chase in the end. Oh, they were able to pick up Bubbles before he TPs out back to base, which is a very short port right there.
Rax is bought back, by the way. He's coming in.
Oh, yeah. And there's that. He has some Matrix. He's like, hey, you remember me. Wretched Hack sure does. She explodes right there. Magnus stuns him, but something tells me Sweet Like Ice is on that mark of, we know the end is here, but we just don't want to give up, man. This is it, so.
Yeah, it's understandable. Look, Magnus sold all of his items to get a Codex.
Okay. And it's officially over. Just having fun with it, but there you go. You see Fitzbo right there. He's have fun at Thailand, but with that said, by no means is this, BMG's going to Thailand just yet. I mean, obviously they are in the losers bracket, and they got a very tough road ahead of them, that is for sure, especially coming from the losers bracket, as even if they make it to the grand finals, they'll be down 1-0. So it ain't certain yet by any means, but this does help.
They have to beat, they have to win, 3 more matchups to go to Thailand?
3 total, yeah. They'll need to beat the winner of Reason versus Willowkeeper, then eventually the loser of the X-Denial Team NK, and then eventually the grand finals. So, yeah. It's a trek, and not an easy one. But again, the point being though, this does keep them alive, if anything, and still put them in a spot to have a solid chance still. But yeah, but in the end, BMG they are victorious again, as expected.